Once upon a time, in a grand kingdom, there lived a very wise minister. He was clever, calm, and full of wisdom. No matter how big or small the problem was, this minister always had a solution. The king trusted him more than anyone else. In fact, the king never made a single important decision without first asking the minister for advice. But not everyone in the court was happy about this. Some people were jealous. They didn't like how much the king admired the minister. And one day, someone whispered something in the king's ear. The next morning, during the royal court, the king looked at the minister and said in a serious tone, "You are very wise, but your son, he is a fool. He has no sense at all." The minister was shocked. His heart sank, but calmly he asked, "Your Majesty, may I ask, why do you say this? What has my son done?" The king replied, "Every morning when I go to the market to meet the people, your son is always there. I ask him a very simple question. What is more valuable, gold or silver? And do you know what he says every time?" The king paused and looked around the court. He says, "Silver." The entire court burst into laughter. Some covered their mouths, trying to hold back their giggles. Others laughed openly. The minister stood there, silent, his face turning red with embarrassment. Without saying a word, he bowed to the king and left. That evening, the minister reached home and called his son. "Tell me honestly," he said, "which metal is more valuable, gold or silver?" The boy looked at his father and replied without hesitation, "Gold, of course." The minister frowned. "Then why," he asked, "do you tell the king that silver is more valuable?" The boy smiled gently and said, "Father, every morning the king comes to the market and sees me. He places 2 coins in front of me, one silver and one gold, and says, 'Pick the more valuable one.' I pick the silver coin every time." The minister, still confused, asked, "But why? Why do you pick the silver coin and let the whole court laugh at you?" The boy stood up and took his father to his room. He opened a small wooden box. Inside, it was full of silver coins. He looked at his father and said softly, "These are the coins I've collected from the king. One each day. The day I choose the gold coin and answer the question correctly, the game will be over. The king will stop testing me, and the silver coins will stop coming. But until I act foolish, I keep getting rewarded." He added with a chuckle, "The king laughs, everyone thinks I'm a fool, and I quietly walk away. One silver coin richer every day." The minister stood still, silent. Then slowly, a proud smile appeared on his face. He realized something important. His son wasn't foolish at all. He was wise, just in a different way. Quiet, clever, patient. From that day on, whenever someone in the court mocked his son or called him foolish, the minister simply smiled and said nothing. Because now he knew, true wisdom doesn't always need to shout. Dear friends, you may have noticed in life, some people do very little but make a big show of it. They want attention, applause, praise. But then, there are others. People who do great things quietly. They don't need to prove anything to the world, because they know their worth. Remember this. You don't need to show off to be valuable. You don't need loud praise to be truly wise. Sometimes the world calls you foolish simply because it doesn't understand your silence, your patience, your quiet success. But that's okay. If you know what you're doing is right, then keep going. Let the world laugh. One day, they'll understand. If this story inspired you, please like and share it with someone who needs to hear it today. And don't forget to subscribe for more motivational stories like this. Until next time, be humble, be wise, and always keep moving forward.